Welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at The Maze Runner, Chapter 14. This chapter is pretty short, but it is very intense. And so if you remember, in the last chapter, it ends with Albie and Newt making a pole with a leather strap on the end, and they connect this collar and this strap to Ben's neck, and this is to kind of hold him so they can push him with the pole. And Ben is just crying and sobbing, and he just looks crazy. He looks terrible. As you can imagine, he's about ready to be pushed out into the maze and be banished. And so Albie locks this collar on him. He kind of tells everyone, this is what happens when we try to kill each other, and we need to have rules, and if you break the rules, this is what happens to you. And then Albie gets the other leaders in the camp, in the glade, and they all hold on to the pole. So there's about 10 of them holding onto this 20-foot pole, and they start pushing Ben towards the maze. And Ben is just screaming. He's trying to move around. He's trying to fall on the ground, but they just pick him up because there's 10 people holding it. They just pick him back up and they just keep pushing him. This is a very savage and oh man, it's a pretty scary, crazy scene. Eventually, they get him outside the door, and as the door starts closing and Ben's just going full crazy, his skin is all white, he has snot all over his face, his eyes are like, whoa! And right as the door is about ready to shut, they push a button, do something, and the leather strap opens up, and they pull back the pole in, and the doors close, and Ben is on the other side. During this whole time, like, Thomas is like, he's feeling a little guilty, he's feeling a little ashamed. He actually starts hiding behind one of the other gladers because he doesn't want Ben to see him or look at him. And wow, Thomas feels that this is wrong, but he doesn't say anything about it, and he doesn't know what to do. And then Ben is just thrown outside. And that's how the chapter ends. Vocabulary. Dribbles. Dribble is like a drop. But if you imagine Ben's face, he has dribbles of saliva, dribbles of spit down his face, because he's like, and as he's yelling and screaming, things are coming out and like sticking to him, and these are dribbles. Right, these kind of coming down. Condemned. Condemned means someone that is found guilty. In a really big way, it's someone who's sentenced to die. And I think we talked about that word sentenced before. Is a judge giving you your punishment or something like that. And condemned is like, you could be condemned to prison, you can be condemned to prison for your rest of your life, or you could be condemned to death. And so for Ben, he has been condemned, proven or found guilty, and now is going to have his punishment. Phlegm. Phlegm is like, it can be snot in your nose, but mostly like from your lungs. Maybe some thing comes and it's yellow and not very nice. And when you're yelling or screaming, that kind of comes out, and it can come out, and we call that phlegm. You might know what phlegm is, but this is how you spell it, and it's very, very different than how you pronounce it. And the last one I believe is bestial, and or bestial, but it has the sound of like a beast. So the way that Ben starts acting is like a wild animal. It's so crazy and wild that it's like an animal, and we call that bestial or bestial. Well, the discussion question I have for you is, would you have said something for Ben? Okay, Thomas, he feels bad, but he's just watching. He doesn't do anything or say anything. What would you do? Ben tried to kill you, okay? I don't know how you would feel, but at this moment, as Ben is being pushed out into the maze, would you try to say anything? Or would you just let him go? Or maybe something else? Well, please also consider thinking of a discussion question for yourself. Okay, write it down in the comments, that way other people can see it. And then we'll discuss all of these discussion questions together when we meet. And that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.